In this video, I am going to take you through a very unique feature that I believe is super important and often overlooked, especially in the business space. And it's something that I like to call missed call text back. Now, what is missed call text back? It is a technology, it is a type of business technology that allows your business to automatically reply to any missed calls with a pre-configured SMS text message to the original caller. So like if I were to call a business right now and I didn't get an answer and they had this configured, then it would go through and reply back automatically with a text message so that I could continue the conversation over an SMS message. Very useful. Now, why is it useful? Let's say a customer shopping around, right, looking for a specific type of business. Maybe it's a roofer or a plumber or a baker. I know with a lot of schools, prom season's coming up. Maybe they're looking for somebody to alter a suit or a dress. Okay, it is that time of year. They're going to go down a list. They're just going to keep calling, right, until they get somebody. Now, if you don't have this set up, if you do not have this missed call text back set up in your business, then what happens is they're going to call, not get an answer, and then move on to the next person. And then they're just going to keep going down the line until they actually get somebody that calls. That is lost business, lost revenue, lost income for your business. And they're not going to wait around. Somebody's not going to call, leave a message and say, oh, I hope they call me back. No, if they're in a pinch, and I've actually gone through this myself looking for a plumber in an emergency, right? I had a flooded bathroom, and I'm looking up plumbers near me, and I'm going down a list until somebody answered. And if they had just had this set up, I could have texted back, boom, we would have done some business, right? And that would have been a problem. So I can't tell you how many businesses miss out on potential customers by not having this in place. And that's the gist of it. And so how? I'm going to show you the software that you can use to set this up. I'm able to configure this automatically for businesses, including my own. I actually have it in place. I've tested it. I used it, and it works wonders, right? There's going to be a link in the description down below, and it is right here. It's chrismcmanamy.com/highlevel, and it's this software that allows you to be able to set this up. So there'll be a link down below. Yes, it is an affiliate link, and it could give you a 14-day free trial to test this out. And yes, it is an affiliate link. I need to disclose that. So if you sign up for this trial and then want to continue using it after your 14-day trial, then as an affiliate, I would receive a percentage at no extra charge to you. You're not going to pay anything extra or anything like that. Now, within this software, once you sign up for this software, there's a couple of things you're going to need at a minimum. All right, you're going to need to go through and buy a dedicated phone number within the software, and then once you have that phone number purchased, and I think it's like $1.15, $1.20 for the number, then you're going to want to go through and complete the A2P10 DLC verification for that number, since you're going to be sending out SMS messages. Now, I'm going to link this video right here. I'm actually going to link this video in the description because I actually created a training on how to efficiently get through this process without any hurdles. To do this process, okay, to do this, there's going to be one of three methods, right? And I'm going to take you through a demo of these methods so that way you guys can see what it looks like, and I'll walk you through this sort of scenarios, right? One of them is there's going to be a checkbox, right? It's very simple. Enable a checkbox and then pre-configure an SMS message, save it, and you're done. All right, that's one way. Another way is, which I prefer and allows more flexibility and more control, is to create an automated workflow. And you can do it whether you run a 24/7 business or what's more advanced, and I will show you that one as well, is if you have specific business hours, right? You're a local business that operates within a specific window, because you don't want to be getting calls at all hours of the night and having to respond when you're not working in your business, right? And so I'm going to show you these. So I got these three methods right here. I'm going to take you through each of these processes. So let's get on over to the software and take a look. Okay, we are inside the software. It is, as I mentioned before, it is called GoHighLevel. We're using my white label version here as an example, and I'm going to take you through the steps to make sure that you get this going and set up. I'll just quickly highlight the prerequisites, but again, that's a separate training. I will have that link in the description down below. So let's get to it. We're actually going to come down here to settings. And then when you come into settings, you're going to go to business profile. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, which I've already done. And you are actually going to enable this checkbox right here, missed call text back. And I'll actually turn that on and show you what that looks like. And so if you just click this checkbox right here, you can see there's a message. Hi, this is location name. I saw that we missed your call. How can your help? How can I help you? You can customize this message. You can add custom values. This is just a very generic, right? You just turn it on and it'll go, right? Assuming you've already set up the phone number and the A2P registration, which, again, separate training down there. So I'm just going to take you right to the settings. And then you hit Save Missed Call Text Settings, and then that's it. That's just a very basic way to do it, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm actually going to take you over to Workflows and show you a couple of different automations. Now, if you come over here to Automation, go to Workflows, and then pick your workflows. I actually created 2 right here, and one of them is Missed Call Text Back Automation for a 24-hour business, and then another one is Missed Call Text Back Automation for operating hours. So, like if you're Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, that type of thing, I'm going to take you through that process right now. So we'll go into this one first. Actually, you know what? We're going to go into this other one. So let's just go into this other one, this Missed Call Text Back Automation. And then here's just a simple workflow, right? There is nothing fancy to this. It allows you to have a little bit more control and do a few more things. And of course, this is very, very rudimentary. There is nothing fancy about this. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the trigger of calls. We're going to set up a trigger, right? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go through it. I'm just going to say add new trigger, and I'm just going to do call status, okay? I'm not going to create this. I'm just going to show you guys what this looks like. So call status right here. And then, of course, we're going to add a couple of filters to make sure that we get this through. And so we got to add filters. We're going to add call direction right here as a filter, and then direction is incoming because these are incoming calls. And then, of course, I'm going to add another filter that is call status. And then we're going to say no answer, voicemail, busy. Those are the ones that we're going to do, right? If you don't answer the call, obviously if they cancel the call, then we're not going to do anything. If they completed the call, obviously we're not going to do anything. But if it's busy, no answer, or voicemail, we're making that call, right? So any one of those conditions go through and the call is unanswered in some capacity, this will fire off. And then, of course, we're going to add another filter here for, add the phone number. So that way it knows. I'm not going to click the drop down there because that shows my phone number. So you can click the drop down. Once you have your phone numbers added and registered inside of GoHighLevel, then you're going to be able to select your phone number. So I'm just going to cancel all of that. You'll obviously save this action right here. And then what I like to do also, so we got the call status. Okay, call status is in. And then right there, we're going to add a step. So I added a wait command here. So you just add a wait. You click on the plus sign, add wait. I set it for 0.5 minutes, so 30 seconds. And that way it's not like, it doesn't come across like spammy or bot-like. So there is I highly recommend you put in a delay here. And of course you say okay and save action. Not okay, save action. It's hiding behind that chat there. And that way, that'll add a little bit of a wait. And make sure as you guys are going through, an important tip for building any workflows and any automations, make sure you save your changes. Please save your changes. Do not think you can go back out, save your changes. Every time you create an object in here, or whether you're designing a website or funnel or email, click the save button. All right, it's not an automatic thing, so you have to commit yourself to hitting that save button. Since I haven't made any changes here, we're gonna go save. I'm gonna add a tag here to the next step here. It's just a missed call tag, and so that's the action I created. Is just adding a tag, add a contact tag. So that'd be the next action you create, and it shows that it's going to assign a missed call tag to the call. It's more for logging and auditing purposes, really. And then once we do that, we're going to then set up an SMS, right? So you just add an SMS text. So you just go. So what I'll do is you just go through here and then do SMS, and then send SMS. That's what you're going to do. You're going to send an SMS. And here's mine. I say, hi, this is Chris with Digital Tech Magnet. Sorry I missed your call. How may I help you with your digital marketing business? Or if you have questions, reply to this message and I will reply back as soon as I'm able to do so. Thank you. Now, you can personalize this as much as you want. Just whatever works best for you. This is just like a general, this is just a general thing that I put together for my business. Obviously, if you want people to, do you need an appointment? Did you have a question? You can literally customize this to say whatever you want to show like an inviting that, hey, I missed the call. How can I help you? And then you say that. Of course, you can test out this phone number. And so if you wanted to test this particular SMS text, you can do this. That way, make sure you get the message correctly. And then, of course, I will also add an internal notification right here. One of the onboarding steps is to download the Lead Connector app, and I highly recommend that you get that app because that way you can actually be notified internally. The internal notification is actually going to go to the specific. Is going to go to the app itself. You can do it through email or SMS if you want to as well. So you can set the type of notification to email or SMS. That is up to you. I personally like the app because that way it keeps everything in the app, keeps it separate. And then, of course, right here, just a notification to you says, hey, there was a missed call. Either call a person back or reply to the message as soon as you can. Bingo. That's really it. And, of course, I have to have a redirect page to the conversation. And, of course, if you wanted to assign this, if you have multiple users, so if you wanted this notification to go to a specific user, so maybe you have an on-call rotation or something like that, and you want to go to a specific, maybe it's a client with a dedicated account manager, depending on the business, right? If you run a team that handles like this only, then you could assign to specific users. So user type, you can be to a particular user, or if it's a user that's already assigned to the contact, you can do that as well, or just have it go to all users. If it's like all hands on deck, then you can do that as well. Or if you're a single person, right? If you're the only person, just set it to all user, and then you're going to save that action. And then right here, I like to remove the tag. I like to have a remove tag from his call. That way, it's just cleaner, and that way it gets removed. And that is the end of the workflow. And I do allow people to come back into this workflow. So I go over to settings, and I allow re-entry. So that way, if a user were to call back in the future, maybe you had to help them with a one-off, and then they call back again. So I allow them to re-enter the workflow if they have already been out. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the operating hours. So this one's a little bit more advanced, a little bit more involved. So I'll just take you through this sequence, right? A lot of the initial sequence is going to be very much the same. Let me zoom this in so that way you guys can see this better. Because if it's zoomed out, then it's going to be kind of hard to see. So we're going to go through and create the similar call status, same triggers as I showed you before. It's going to be for busy. It's going to be for incoming calls. It's the same one that I just showed you. And of course, I do have a delay right here of 0.5 minutes, 30 seconds. You can set it for 0.2 if you want it to be even shorter than that. That way it's not just so like bot-like and so like it doesn't look automated, okay? And then of course what we're going to do here, since we are looking at operating hours, I went ahead and added a 24-hour enter-exit condition. Especially that way if people aren't trying to call the business and trying to call over and over and over again, then that's a good process. You can also add that to the other one as well. But what I did here was I added a 24-hour enter-exit. This is an if-else condition. So you just add an if-else condition. And so what I did right here was if they're coming in this sequence, if you have this published, I do not have this published because then it would create a conflict, right? We want one or the other. Have one or the other. Don't have both of these. I have both so I can show you. And what I do is like my branch is yes within 24 hours. So that way that if the tag does not include the missed call tag, if it's not included, if it is included, then we're going to bounce, right? They're not going to be in this. So if it's within the 24 hours, it's going to be an enter exit. And so if they are not tagged, it's kind of like reverse logic, kind of a reverse logic, right? And so if they do not have this tag, okay, if they already have that tag, then they already been through the sequence. We're not going to send them through it again. That's what this means. And so if they are not already tagged with the missed call tag, then they'll proceed. If they do come through this and and that number does have this tag, then they're just going to get bounced out. They will not come through this sequence, okay? And the 24 hours will come into play in a little while at the end. And so you're just going to have yes and then exit or no. And so that right there. So now what we're going to do is then, if it's within the 24 hours and they do not have this tag, we are adding this contact tag. All right, that's what that means. So it's an identifier for that condition. So they don't have the tag, they're good. Otherwise, they're out. So we're going to add that tag. That's just adding a contact tag. So we just say new right here, add contact tag right here. We're going to add that. And then right here, we're going to do two more conditions, right? We're going to have two more conditions right here. So we're going to add another if else. And this one right here is for availability days, right? It's the days of the week. So if you are Monday through Friday, it's just an easy example, right? If you are a Monday through Friday business, then what we're going to do is we're going to have a current day of the week it's going to be an action right here, and it's going to be a date time condition, It's going to be current day of the week is, and then you can have specific days of the week, right? So maybe you want this for 3 days a week, but we're just going to do weekdays, right? If it's weekdays, then that's going to be here, right? Anything else is going to be a weekend, right? Does that make sense? You could add a branch that says, weekends, or maybe it's Monday through Saturday, whatever. So if it's a weekday and like a Saturday, or a weekday and Sunday, you could have that. You can have that condition as well. You could just add a condition, right? Or even add a branch. But I would just add a condition. If it doesn't match weekday, it's gonna be a weekend and it's closed. So I will touch on that process afterwards. So I'm gonna skip this for now. I'm gonna go down here. So we've already established. All right, we've already established that we're open and closed. All right, it's open weekdays, closed weekends. Now what we want to do is we want to specify the operating hours. All right, we're going to specify the operating hours, and I just use this as an example. Your hours may be different. It could be 7 to 6, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever your business hours of operation are. Okay, what that window of time is. And so I just use this as an example. So your if condition is going to be during business hours, and then of course you set the date, time, current hour is on or after as the condition, right? As that parameter, and I set it for 7 a.m. And the current hour is on or before 6 p.m. So if it's in between, if it's on or between these time windows, then it will proceed down the block here. It will proceed down this segment. And of course, anything else is going to be after business hours. All right, that's really it. It's like you got your business hours, anything else is after that. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our initial notifications. So we're going to focus on this sequence right here, all right? And of course, what I did was I set up an SMS to reply during work hours. And as hi, this is Chris with Digital Tech Magnet. I'm not available at the moment to answer your call. Please reply back to this message to let me know how I can help you. If you have any questions, I can answer. Customize this as you see fit, all right? I opened it up saying, hey, how can I help? Or do you have any questions? What is going on? And then you just have this message right here. It's an SMS. And then, of course, you can test this to make sure it looks good, goes through, that sort of thing. And then I'll add an internal notification right here and say, hey, you received a missed call. Get back to the call or reply to SMS. Mine's a little bit more direct. You can word this however you want. I set this to go to the app, right? I mentioned this earlier. I want this to go to the app. And then, of course, right here, once that happens, I'm actually going to add a 24-hour wait. And so, like, after the internal notification and the SMSs went through, I'm going to wait 24 hours from when that notification was fired off and the SMS went through, which should have happened at the same time. So the SMS goes to the caller. Internal notification goes to you or your team, right? Your staff, your employees. It's going to go to one or the other. And then after 24 hours, it's going to remove that tag. All right, so that way it allows them to come back through the sequence after 24 hours. And what I did right here is I actually duplicated this to save time, and I recommend you do this too, for the after business hours. So you can literally click these 3 dots right here and then say copy and then say all actions. So what copy all actions is going to do, it's literally going to take all actions in this group here. It's going to take all these actions and you can copy it right here. And it'll literally clone this entire sequence right here. That's what that copy action does. That'll save you, if you're reproducing this, that's going to save you time, right? And then of course I modified this. It's an SMS. I say after hours. I say, this is Chris. You've reached this message outside the hours of operate. I'm gonna say, let me say outside the hours of business operation. Current operating. You can add like your current operating hours or current business hours. You can put that right in here, Monday through Friday, and then your time if that is the case. Please reply back to this message to let me know how I can help you. If you have questions I can answer, I'll get back to you during business hours. So it sets the expectation that, yeah, you can respond, but I'm not going to reply until business hours. That is something that you can absolutely do. And then just save the action. And of course, internal notification right here. Similar thing. I have the title missed call after hours. You can set the action name as well. You can set the internal notification name so the label is clear, and then just, hey, you received a missed call, get back to the call, reply to the SMS. And of course, I have another wait 24 hours and then remove the tag. That is a wait command, and then just remove the missed call tag. That way, that still, even though it's after hours, I could still, after 24 hours, re-enter this sequence and go through this process again. Now, coming back, I wanted to circle back here, okay? We're going to go back to this closed weekends because I did something a little unique. You can take this and clone this, but the weekend is kind of an after hours as well, so you really don't need to create another sequence. You can, but to save you some time and to make it very efficient, for this command, I added a go to. And so you add a go to command. Let me close this out. You add a go to command right here, and then just link it to this. This is technically after hours as well. The weekends after that. And so you can do that. Or if you're just flat out want to say, hey, we're closed, we'll be back in the morning, you can do that as well. You take this, clone this, copy the sequence, put it under here, and then you can then you can have a separate sequence for that. And so this is a little bit more advanced. Let me zoom this out a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing, and I'll just take you through. I'll just take you through the sequence, okay? You guys don't need to. Let me just zoom all this out. You guys don't need to see this right now, but just know this is the overview. So I'll just kind of take you through the direction, okay? I'll take you through this. So we have the call that comes in. All right, call comes in, and then what's going to happen? There's going to be a delay. There's going to be a wait here, okay? There's going to be a wait. It's going to stop here. It's going to wait half a minute, right? Or 0.2, whatever. If I would definitely still have a wait. And then it's going to come through, and then it's going to check. It's going to check that call status to see if they have that missed call text back tag. Are they tagged? If they're not tagged, then that's a yes. Otherwise, if they have the tag, it's just going to bounce them out of this workflow automatically. Then they're done, right? And of course, if they do not have the tag, which is the yes, then we're going to add that tag. All right, we're going to add that contact tag. And then we're going to have another condition down here. And this right here is going to take them through, all right, are we open on the weekdays, or is it a weekend? Is it day of the week? Is it the day of the week, Monday through Friday, or is it Saturday, Sunday? If you are a Monday through Friday business. So we're going to say it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Like today, at the time of this recording, it's Wednesday. And so we're going to take you through open weekdays, yes, and then we're going to check the operating hours. All right, it's very important. And so it can be the same day of the week, but if it's outside of your business operations, we want to be able to note that. So it's going to be the time you're going to make sure it's whatever time you're operating, not theirs, your business time. All right, it's going to be your account business operations, whatever you've set here, and it's going to be your local time. And if it's during your business hours, then you can take them through the sequence. Send the SMS, send the notification, wait 24 hours. We're going to stop there, and then it's going to remove the tag. All right, it is going to absolutely remove the tag. Or if it's during closed hours, let me bring that back again. So let's say they're here, going down after business hours, I'm going to send them down this sequence. All right. Now, if it's a weekend, like I said, what it's going to do is going to go down this path right here, and then it's going to go to this sequence. Or, like I said, you can set up your own. Yeah, that's the missed call text back workflow. That's the more advanced workflow. You can modify this as you see fit. If you guys feel that you would benefit from a snapshot of this, let me know, and I'll create a snapshot for you. That way you guys can just have it and save you guys some time. But if you wanted to build this yourself, just follow this tutorial. And if you found value in any of this, make sure you hit the bell notification and subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you found that this was helpful to you. I definitely appreciate it, and it shows YouTube that my content is definitely resonating. Or if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Or you can also, I will also have a description to my Facebook page where you can reach out, shoot me a message, and we can talk. Again, that's it for this training with the missed call text back. Thank you guys for checking it out, and I'll see you in the next one.